Hey guys, it is Thursday morning and I finally have an update for you. I finished Firestorm by Shannon, which is the third book in the Elemental series, which this is the first one. Um, and it follows our main character of Larkspur, who is an elemental with a connection to earth magic. She did have her powers blocked when she was really young. She became a guard. That all happened in the first book. Stuff happened at the end of that first book. She was supposed to face consequences, but she didn't because she got sent off on a diplomatic mission to a different kingdom, which was the Water Kingdom. And now in this third book, she came back to her home kingdom, and now she does have to face consequences, and she gets sent to the Fire Kingdom. Obviously, I can't tell you too much about the plot because it's very much built on the previous two books. There's not a ton happens. I really can't tell you anything without just massive spoilers. But I can say that I am really loving this series. I'm finding that I think Shannon actually plotted out this entire series and is using each book to build to the end, which I'm very excited about. It means that she thought about stuff, and I feel like what's happening is things that happen in the first book are still important to the later books, and I really love that kind of plotting. Lark is definitely growing as a character. She's developing, she's becoming more of her own person, and I'm finding that I really like her as a character. Of course, there's some romance going on there, a little bit of a love triangle, but not at this point terribly so. But what I'm really loving right now is Lark's sense of loyalty and justice, and I love those. Are my favorite kind of heroes, the ones that are like, I'm going to do what's right because it's right, and I'm going to do it the best that I can, and I just love those. So this has really been a great series for me. And I definitely will be continuing on. And I think I've said this before, but they're really short books too. So they're only, they're about 250 pages, give or take 25. And so they're really fast, easy reads, and I'm just absolutely loving it. So I will continue on probably next month sometime. Next that I am going to be reading is Shortcake. This is volume 3, but I need to read 3, 4, and 5 because they're actually due at the library today. So it follows our main character. This is a manga series that follows our main character of 10. She lives in a town that does not have its own high school. The closest high school is a 2-hour bus ride away. So she decides to go live in a boarding house in the town that has her high school. And of course it's a shoujo one, which is aimed at teenage girls really. And so there's all kinds of romance and drama, and it's very sweet. And so I'm looking forward to reading the next 3 books, and I'm sure that I will just be flying through them. So you should see another update from me later. And so yeah, that's what I got. You'll, again, like I said, you'll see me later. So bye for now. Hey guys, it is Thursday afternoon and I have another update as promised. I went ahead and finished volumes 3, 4, and 5 of Shortcake by Morishita. Sorry. And because they are due back at the library and I will be leaving to go there in just a couple minutes, so I figured I should probably give you an update. But I really love this series. I love it more and more. It's really dramatic, it's really fun, but I feel like some of the stuff that I've read where it is more this shoujo beat kind of stuff is a little bit more steamy, I guess. This is just really sweet. It's longing. There's not a lot of physical kind of stuff. It's all the unrequited love and pining and that kind of really fun kind of stories. There is a love triangle. I'm not usually one for love triangles. In this case, I find it very, very funny. One of the guys is like, wants to be friends with his rival and is just like, you're my best friend, and can you give me some tips about how to make sure that she chooses me? And the other guy's like, dude, we're rivals. And it's so much fun. I got completely sucked in. I think it's so sweet. I really love it. I'm just going to continue on with this series whenever my library gets the next ones in. So up next, I am going to go ahead and finish Seraphina by Rachel Hartman. My goal is to try to finish this before the end of Saturday so that I have another update for you. I'm not far in, so it's like 175 pages, I think. I should be able to finish it if I really focus on it. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to really focus on it considering how many other things I have going on. But I'm going to try because I would like to be done with this book. It feels like I've been reading it for forever. So that's what I've got for you, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. Bye. Hey guys, it is Saturday night and I have my end of the week wrap up clip, and I finished it. I did. It was amazing. So I remember reading this and loving it. And then I didn't read the sequel. I never read it again until now. I didn't remember almost anything going in about this book, and so I was very hesitant because I was like, I remember loving it, but you know, when you read books you love a second time, oftentimes it's just not as good the second time around. And this time it was just as good, and because I didn't remember any of it, it was like I mean, there wasn't even feelings of deja vu or, oh yeah, I remember. Okay, now I remember now. No, there was none of that. It was just like a completely new book that I loved all over again. It was so, so good. So just real quick, Seraphina by Rachel Hartman is about Seraphina, our main character, who is half dragon. Little bit of a spoiler, but you learn it within the first 50 pages, so I don't mind too much. But she is at court as a court musician. There is a treaty between the dragons, who can also take human form, and the humans, and it is very, very tense. There's some stuff going on that's kind of threatening the peace treaty, and Seraphina needs to kind of figure it out. But I loved this book. Part of it is because I love Seraphina as a character. She's a little bit prickly, but we kind of understand why. She's so fearful of being found out. I love Prince Lucian Kiggs. He is such a cool character. I enjoy his sense of right and wrong. I love the fact that he just always tells the truth. I love that. I even like Griselda, who's a little bit over the top, but it's really fun and I liked it. So I enjoyed a lot of the characters. I thought that the plot was really, really well done. You know, the whodunit part, like, I didn't guess it, which was, I mean, I never guess it, so like I'm an easy it's easy to fool me, but it was so atmospheric. It was just, the world was so good. I just loved it. I just loved this book. I'm so glad that I picked it up again. And so I finished that in the afternoon. And so I went ahead and picked up this bad boy, Scarlet by A.C. Gaughen. I still don't know how to pronounce her name. And honestly, it doesn't matter because I DNF'd it. I got 12 whole pages in. Part of the problem is that, okay, let me back up and give you at least a little bit of a synopsis. But this is a Robin Hood retelling where we are following the main character of Scarlet, Will Scarlet, who is actually female. And, you know, they're trying to do the Robin Hood thing, and then Guy of Gisborne comes, and Scarlet has to decide, like, what she's gonna do, all, you know, blah, 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 whatever. honestly, it doesn't matter because I didn't get to that point in the plot. Because Scarlet's way of talking, she thinks how she talks, and the way that she talks is terrible. It's just terrible. It's like it's supposed to be some kind of dialect, but nobody else speaks it, so I don't really know where she's getting it from. And there's no explanation given. I remember some of the twists at the end, and one of the twists um is about where she comes from, and so it's just like, so where you come from, this doesn't even make sense. It's all kinds of weird. I got far enough to get a hint of the weird love triangle situation. By the way, there's a love triangle, um, which is very, very strange. And this is her debut novel. This is the author's debut novel. And generally speaking, I'm a lot more lenient with an author if I know that it's their debut novel. I mean, it's so unkind to hold them to like a super high standard when it's their first go round, right? But you have to give me something. Between the way that that the main character talks, the fact that this main character Scarlet is wholly unpleasant, just absolutely nothing good for her going on that we've. I mean, like, okay, ostensibly she's stealing from the rich to give to the poor, which is a great thing, but then she's like beating herself up over the fact that like she can't do more, and like, oh martyr, like I'm not going to take care of myself because other people can't take care of themselves. It's like, what the hell? What are you talking about, crazy? Like, I can't. I can't do it. It was just ridiculous. So, again, 12 pages in, and that's how I already felt about it. I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm good. And actually, the nice thing is that I get to take this one off my shelf too. I actually had bought and read the second book, and now it's just going to be gone because I didn't even finish the first book this to go around. So that's done. And so instead, I picked up Midnight Blue Light Special by Shannon McGuire. It is the second book in the Encrypted series. The Encrypted series just follows the Price family, who is a family of cryptozoologists. They're essentially liaisons between the humans and the monsters, except, the humans don't really know about the monsters. But this is the second book where we follow the main character of Verity Price, who is a ballroom dancer, and she now has to make a decision of whether or not she's going to follow in the family's footsteps and be a cryptozoologist, or whether she's going to follow her passion of ballroom dancing. And of course, as soon as she's realizing she has to make this really big decision, she's in New York to kind of see if she could make it as a ballroom dancer, and her year is coming to the end. And, oh, by the way, the Covenant, who kills monsters on sight, has decided to come to New York to decide if it needs to be purged, aka kill all the monsters. And so now Verity also has to make the decision of what she's going to do, if anything, to help the people in her city. I am 2 whole pages in. I don't know anything about it other than what's on the back. I literally just started reading it. But I'm really excited. I liked the first book a lot more the second time around, and I suspect this will be the same. As I love Shannon McGuire's writing, so I'm excited. It'll be great. So that's what I've got. One last update. I did need to return Rejected Princesses by Jason Porath back to the library. I realized that I was going through it so slowly. I knew that I already wanted to buy it. So I just decided to take it back to the library and let somebody else check it out who's going to hopefully also really enjoy it. So you won't see any more updates about that from me until I actually get my own copy and am able to read it. But I didn't want it to just drop off and like without any mention whatsoever. So there we go. Now that is the end of my update, and go ahead and let me know what you guys are reading. I'm always interested. And until next time, have happy reading. Bye.